are joined with Rudy Gay Ochai Agbaji, Collin Sexton, and Mike Conley for a discussion. We can state the obvious, these are all black men that play in the NBA, but this discussion is based off our black experience. And one thing about being black is that it's not a monolithic experience. These guys come from different generations, states, places, all over the place, but we're all here in Utah. So we're just gonna talk about it. I'm gonna start it off with a little bit of an icebreaker, and I'm gonna judge you on your answer. Salt or sugar on your grits? Hot take.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Sugar. Sugar.
Whoa.
Are you a salt?
I'm a salt and butter girl.
Cheese too?
Cheese.
Ugh.
All sugar?
I don't eat grits like that.
Sugar.
You gotta put sugar on it.
Wow, okay. Clearly we'll just agree to disagree on that one. I probably have a better taste of food here, but it's fine, you know? Let's start off talking about the communities where you guys grew up. I think what makes this conversation so interesting is that we all have literally come from a lot of different places, and I'm sure we have different experiences. So talk to me about the communities where you grew up, and was being black celebrated there?
Well, I'm from Fayetteville, Arkansas, so growing up, it wasn't predominantly a black area. Like you said, when you grow up, wherever you grow up, you only know what you know, and I wasn't aware if it even was celebrated or even noticed. I had white friends, I had black friends. I, lived the life I knew, and not till I got older did I realize, things were missing along the way. I moved to Indianapolis when I was 10, and it was a complete switch. Any setting you were in, you just kind of molded to that environment and went from there.
How do you think that shaped your self-identity, moving over to a place like the neighborhood you moved to?
I think it really helped balance me, because I got to see really both sides, and that's a big thing for me, is experiencing other cultures, experiencing other people. Most of us fear what we don't know. We fear the unknown, and that's natural. It's a human thing. So to kind of break down boundaries, you kind of have to intertwine. You have to get to know. You have to go sit down and eat with people and understand why people like salt over sugar. For grits,
you'll never understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you probably never ever tried it, but it's fine.
But that's it. So like now I'm gonna go back and say, hey, maybe I should put salt on my grits.
Salt and cheese.
Salt and cheese. Now I don't know about the cheese. So that's kind of like what it is. It helped kind of develop that balance of understanding in those moments.
I feel like the way we all adapted was through sports. I think sports brought us together in ways that we really didn't even think of. Different backgrounds, different countries, different cities. So yeah, that's how I've lived my life.
So I'm interested with you because you grew up in a Nigerian household. You said your father's Nigerian. So what was that like for you? How did your dad try to make sure that you were still connected to your African roots?
Yeah, he's one of plenty of brothers and sisters.
Okay, how many?
11 brothers and sisters. So, and they're still all over in Nigeria. So he had a different path, in his way to America, and obviously had a family and grew up there in America. So, the experiences are kind of different. You have black friends and then you have African friends, yeah. But they're all still black at the same time. But they still have different customs in their households that you can relate to. So like some African friends, it's really strict parents. Yeah. Like Collin knows some African people that have really strict parents, and that's how it is. My dad was really strict on me, really hard on me, but also my mom, she being from America, she kind of like balanced it out a little bit from those customs.
Can you guys define that transition for you all when you decided that I want to be a basketball player and you're now forming a platform? People started realizing in your areas that you grew up, like, you know what, he's probably going to go to the league, or he has this skill, or he has this talent.
Everybody has their story. Like when I got to the point where I thought I was going to progress and be a professional athlete, when you go back to the place where you're from, everybody has a story about something you did. He'd always be bouncing the ball, he'd be out back doing this, even when it rained and stuff like that. And that dawned on me, like, it's all about your community, and a lot of people are living through you. So, everybody had a story about something I did growing up that got me to where I am.
I would say the same thing, but I say, like, start realizing you become more of like a hometown hero. Not even just kids, it's adults who are like really proud and happy to say that you come from where they come from. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know I would be here. Like those higher levels that we all probably thought that were impossible to achieve. And it just makes you feel good that your community is behind you. And sometimes when your community is behind you, it gives you that extra push and that extra drive to get there.
I'm just interested to know, is that hard though at the same time when people give you that title as a hometown hero at such a young age?
Comes with like a big responsibility.
Yeah.
At that age, I mean.
I would say it's a big responsibility, but also it's fun. Like
Okay.
I would say it's definitely fun. Just know that wherever you walk, you go to the barbershop, you go to the recreation center, the kids, they're so excited to see you. Like that's motivating for me.
That's important because, you know, all those people around your community took care of you, because the margin for error for us is not, you know, it's so small. So, and they understood that. When we were kids, we didn't understand that. We're just like, all these people are all lifting us up, trying to make sure we don't turn left over there, making sure we stay on the right path, because they understand that, you know, we might not get a second chance. You know, this might be it, you know.
Why do you think that is? Because I feel like, I mean, of course that can be anyone, but why do you think that is?
I mean, I feel like all four of us have seen a situation where someone hasn't, where someone goes off the other way. So that just makes us even more determined and blessed and to be in this position that we're at.
Yeah, I don't think me being a black man in America, it doesn't mean I can speak for every black man in America, but I can speak from my experience. And you know, it wasn't that many opportunities for me. You know, I've been around people that have, you know, have gone through school and just kind of got by, and now they run their dad's company. I didn't have that kind of opportunity. You know, I have to create that for my family. So, you know, there, like you said, there's different rules that we abide by. We have to do certain things a different way. My community knew that before I did. So that's why they wanted me to, you know, elevate me so I can create those things in the future for other people that look like me. So
I'm interested to know, specifically with you two, you guys grew up in a generation where Facebook might have, was MySpace Facebook?
MySpace.
But it was just like starting off, right? You had to go home to get on Facebook. You had to go home to get on MySpace. For them, it's like they grew up in a generation where you can go on your phone and you have the Twitter app, right? What is that like, living in that world where people are constantly probably looking at you guys to speak up? And then what is it like for you all to kind of have to adjust?
I think
They can probably speak on this.
kind of just what we were talking about being educated. Like,
Yeah.
if you really don't feel like you're that educated, then no one should blame you for not speaking on something. That's what I feel like.
Like you said, when we were growing up, it was MySpace, Facebook. Like, you had to have internet at the house to even be able to get onto that, and a lot of people didn't even have
dial-up.
So, and that took up the phone line, so you couldn't be on it for long. So I couldn't check my stats or check where I was ranked or what somebody was saying. So it was a lot less stress. Like, it was just like, I'm just trying to be the best I can be. For these guys, I can only imagine like having to grow up through that era where everything you do is under a microscope. Everybody has a highlight video. You want a better highlight video. You know, this is the only way I'm gonna get into college. Like, you know, there's so many questions that come with that I wouldn't even know how to begin to deal with, because we didn't have to necessarily deal with it. And I choose not to deal with it now too, because I was able to live those years beforehand where I don't need it, and I don't need to necessarily say what's on my mind every time, only on important issues that I truthfully feel like I need to speak out on.
So what are your thoughts when it comes to athletes and activism, but using social media for that platform? What are your thoughts on that?
I
Do you think it's a good thing, bad thing?
Personally, I don't think every athlete should have, you know, should be, you know, a person to speak up. It takes time to be knowledgeable enough to speak up on certain things. And me personally, I would like for whoever speaks up for me to know exactly what they're talking about. So yeah, just because you're an athlete doesn't make you an activist. You have your phone in your hand and Twitter's available does not make you Martin Luther King. It's bigger than just you. It's bigger than just your community. You're speaking to the world about what's going on. So,
all right, so let's talk about mental health. The NBA made mandatory was that there's a mental health professional on every team. You guys are blessed because you have a mental health professional here that's a black guy. Whatever you're going through, you have that person that looks like you that you can go and talk to. What is that like, having a mental health professional on the team?
I think it's important. At times, we all have those thoughts, and we have those times where we just need someone just to let it out to and just to talk to. And I would say the first time that I've had that experience was when I was in college, and Avery Johnson, he just told me to go talk to someone. Like, you don't know until you go do it. And I feel like just having someone close and having someone able to talk to, like, whenever you need them is very important, because at the end of the day, some games might be good, some might be bad, and you might have it's a lot of ups and a lot of downs in the league, and you just gotta try to pretty much just stay level-headed as much as possible.
Was mental health talked about in your families growing up? Like the struggles?
No, not at all. I talk to Ron a lot. Most of the time it's about y'all anyway. Y'all stress me out. Not really. But I do talk to Ron a lot, and you know, just a lot of it is like how to be able to speak to Collin, or like the younger guys.
When did you get there? Like, when did you guys get there to understand that, like, I can peel back these layers to be a little softer, even though I doubt you guys would like that word, but to show that you guys don't have to be that strong person all the time?
Kids. We had kids, probably.
And you guys have boys too.
Yeah. I'd say, well, kids partly, but also with me, injuries.
Okay.
You know, I kind of had to, you're riding such a high, and then like things just get taken from you. It humbles you. And, you know, also having kids on top of that, it kind of made me put things in perspective.
Did y'all ever see your father cry? And do you remember when you did, or if you didn't?
I saw my dad cry one time. It's when his sister died. Mm-hmm. And when he got the news, he cried. It was his older sister. He's the youngest. You would never know what's going on in his head. He'll never fess up to anything. He never do anything. It's just
fess up.
It just is what it is.
He never fess up to anything.
Yeah, it just
like
is what it
that
is.
In there.
It is what it is, and you gotta deal with it. And that's the type of person he was. But you know, looking back, you wish you would have showed more emotion.
Do you show your emotion to your kids?
I do, yeah.
So they seen you cry?
No. They
ain't seen me cry.
They won't see you cry?
No, I cry after I put them down. Finally, they finally go to bed, and I'm worn out. That's when I cry on my own. When I'm defeated, that's the only time.
All right, so we're gonna get into the last few questions. The food is almost ready. Soul food is what brings us together. Last year we talked about Sunday dinner, a film that we did here also with the Jazz, but we talked about that and like communing together at the dinner table. And so we're gonna bring that out.
What you want, a thigh or a leg, man? What you want? All right. That's heavy.
All right, so our food has arrived. So before you guys eat, I do have some like quick little questions. Name some of your Black heroes.
One for me is Muhammad Ali.
Did you ever meet him?
One time, my dad, being an athlete, got to be around him, and I was very little, but that's probably why I idolize him so much. But
that's really cool.
Definitely cool.
I would say for me, I would say Jackie Robinson, just because the impact that he had, and that's one of my favorite movies, 42, and just to show like how much he went through during that time is tough.
Okay, what about you?
I would say, it's kind of not cliche or anything, I would say my dad.
Okay, that's fine.
He's always he's raised me in the right way to treat everyone the same way, no matter what they think of you or what anyone thinks of you.
I was hoping you asked me first, because I was gonna say Muhammad Ali.
Oh.
But
you guys have this.
I don't think people understand, this generation understand like how important he was to our culture. To go in these huge formats back then and be able to eloquently speak on situations that he's been through, it's kind of like brought to attention like someone as famous as him has gone through the same thing as an average Black person in America. So just like I said earlier, like, you know, the right people have to speak up. And I feel like at that time, he was the right person.
All right, so as we wrap it up, I think my last question for you all is, what do you want your legacy to be?
I think for me, it's just like, I just want people to know me as like a guy that you know, try to make everybody's life better.
I'd say same. Just to be known as a genuine, selfless person that really came in, worked hard, but did it the right way. Did everything the right way, and never cheated myself, never cheated anyone else.
I mean, I really can't fully answer that question because I feel like I'm still adding to it.
Yeah.
But just a person that, you know, some Renaissance man. I mean, obviously,
A Renaissance man.
we're here because I'm a basketball player, but, you know, I'm a person that has many different talents and can do a lot of different things, sit in a lot of different rooms, and I think more than that, that's what I want to be known for. For
me, I want people to remember me as just being a hard worker, someone that they can depend on, someone they can count on, and I feel like I get that from my family.
Well, I think you guys have all done a great job of that. I've been able to get to know you all over these last few years, and you're just genuinely good people. We can have great conversations of just about, you know, literally anything. You can be that Renaissance man. And so I appreciate you all coming to sit down and chat with me, and now we can eat.
Thank you. Thank
He
you for
was
having us.
already eating. He was already eating, man. Look at
I mean, you all were already eating, but
Yeah, I was dropping chicken. I seen he was eating.
yeah, there was macaroni. I mean, the sweet potato, the yams, whatever. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Black Experience Month, 2023.